Labrīt, mani sauc Wierenga. My name is Wierenga, and I am a junior research fellow at the Johann Schutte Institute of Political Studies at the University of Tartu, and I am project director here at LATO, coordinating the Future Leaders Forum. I would like to first welcome you all to Riga and say thank you for coming, for joining us to discuss something that is very topical and important, which is NATO and the agenda of NATO 2030 going forward. I am humbled to be with esteemed colleagues Sigita Struberga and Elisabeth Bauer. I will pass the floor to Elisabeth Bauer first, who will give some remarks, and then on to Sigita.
I will be first. Yes,
as you wish.
I will be first, as I guess as a host of this event. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here with us today. And to be honest, we were so much amazed about your applications that I believe it's not, this time it will not be about teaching someone, but rather about exchanging ideas of leaders who have already demonstrated leadership skills, about leaders who know already how to change this world, how to make it better. And also today I would like to say very special thanks to Konrad Adenauer Foundation and Elisabeth Bauer personally, because without her great ideas, without sharing her expertise in very broad way, and always being with us and supporting us during this very tough time, I believe we wouldn't have chance to have not only this event but many other events which are organized by LATO. Also, I would like to say thanks to NATO Public Diplomacy Division, which also made this event to be possible. We hope that you will enjoy these days. You will enjoy those who have a chance to be here in a place, in venue. You will enjoy this wonderful time while we still can network in person. I hope it will be a bit longer than it was last year, and we will have other chances as well. But the situation in Latvia is not that good at the moment, and for this reason, when it comes to organization issues, please take care of your respirators to be on during all the event. Please take care about distancing, and we highly value. We will highly value if you will really look after all the restrictions, all the rules which are made in this venue to make it possible at all. But once more, thanks all of you who are here. Thanks to those who are online with us at the moment. We are looking forward for a great event with very great experts who will share their thoughts, their expertise, and we are looking forward to joining you to the Riga conference as well. And now I would like to give a floor to Ms. Elisabeth Bauer.
Thank you, Sigita. First of all, I have to thank to Sigita Struberga. Without her, this wouldn't have happened. She did an awful lot of job this year. As you might imagine, if you have to plan it straight from the beginning in 3 ways: online, hybrid, or even in presence. And this to be done at the same time. It's unbelievable what you did. Thank you a lot. Secondly, the youth events are very important. We did different this year on youth. We had even youth academies online with students, and I have to say, I like those Future Leaders Forums. And I can tell you, some people who once attended these forums later on came as a speaker back to the Riga conference. So it's quite normal, and it's very important and very good to be here very early, to get into contact to other ones. This year there won't be that much people, because that's why you might have been the possibility to talk to other ones as well in the Riga conference. So take the chance if you can. But what I can tell you as well and ask you, please do follow all the restrictions. And I have to say something in additional. If you are going there on nighttime somewhere, please try to keep distance over there as well. The figures over here are exploding. Today in the morning, I think after Serbia, we have the second worst figures in the whole Europe. So please be careful. And I only can tell out of one story of my colleagues in Berlin. They had a 2G conference, and there was someone later on positive, and everybody had to go in quarantine. So please keep the distance. It's the best for us all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elisabeth, and thank you, Sigita. I am from the States, but I also spent 10 years in Canada, also a NATO member state, and so I will echo the Canadian thank you and say, first and foremost, thank you to all of the speakers for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come speak to our future leaders. It is greatly appreciated. We have a very diverse group talking about very important topics that are crucial and fundamental not only to the security alliance but also to liberal democracy, which is very much under threat. My background is in studying populism and the far right, and I study social media and communication strategies. But also I have a background in the military, having worn the uniform of a NATO member country into a combat zone back in 2004 and 2005 as a former United States Marine. I bring that with me every day when I approach my life and when I approach my professional life especially. And looking at what's going on now in the world, we need leaders, because I think that there are, in some instances, it has been demonstrated even in liberal democracies, a lack of leadership. And I think it's very important when a new generation that's grown up in the age of not just crises, but information warfare, misinformation and disinformation, which are two different things, we have people who know how to stay the course and not just strengthen, but also encourage liberal democracy. One of the alarming things that I have seen in my research is that in most, but certainly not all, Western democracies, the center is shrinking, and not just only to the populist right, but also to the left. And that's simply because the message is that they're not offering anything except for being an alternative. One of the things that struck me with all of your applications here in the audience was not just your CVs, but what was written in your mission statement, because we wanted to make sure that we had a gender-balanced group. We wanted to make sure that we had a geographically balanced group, not just with all three members of the Baltic states being represented, but even more broad. We have members from Canada, from the US, from Poland, from Germany. And our speakers also come from a diverse background, not just institutionally, but also geographically. One of the things that I really want to mention is also safety and some precautions. Please do wear a mask in the building at all times. As I mentioned earlier, now that we're all here, with social media, we do ask you to feel free to post, of course, and if you would post, use hashtag Riga Conference 2021. Please do so distanced and masked. We really want to uphold the reputation. Lato has a great reputation, not just in Latvia, but abroad, as does the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, and we're all a team. And on that note, I hope that when we part ways on the 16th, that you will be in touch. Between all of us, the speakers, we have amassed quite a network in the Baltic states, and I hope that that won't be the end of the line. If you're ever in Estonia, feel free to get in touch. I would be happy to continue cooperation. I think that's important to use opportunities such as this, especially when we have the good grace to be in person, to network. Meeting people, having interesting discussions, exchanging LinkedIn or business cards is sometimes the way that jobs happen. They're sometimes the way, usually they are the ways that interesting publications come to light. I have to say, I am very grateful to Sigita for giving me this opportunity, and I'm exceptionally grateful to both of my assistants, Davis and Beata, who I could not have done this without. They did a stand-up job helping me organize this during a time where the pandemic, as my colleague Elisabeth Bauer said, took an unfortunate turn in Latvia, and unfortunately the numbers are amongst the worst. And although we are very excited and delighted to welcome you to Riga and to Latvia, it is a little bit problematic to enjoy this city for more than just a walk due to the nature of how things are. If you go out, people cannot sit in more than fours. Sometimes it's even possible that you will have to sit in less than fours because of space, because people are still going out. We will be passing on some more practical information to you as soon as it comes to light. Hopefully everything was smooth. The organization was a little bit of a bumpy road, but we're here and we're very glad to welcome you. And I think on a final note, I would like to say that this is an interesting year to hold the Future Leaders Forum, because we are not only talking specifically about matters of foreign policy, but also domestic policy. How do domestic disputes influence the foreign policy of governments? What happens when you have a government, let's say, like the United States, or a presidential administration, that wants to take a step back from commitments? How do allies ensure that going forward these commitments are met? And how do allies ensure other allies that they will fundamentally have each other's back? That's why it's important to have networks like these. That's why it's important that future leaders who are already starting to get socialized in the process already make it to their careers and keep the networks going.